Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Tech Your Business podcast. On today's episode, we'll be talking about marketing generally. To talk about marketing with us is Donnie Strompf. Donnie is the founder of Good at Marketing and also the co-founder of Rapid SEO Hosts. I'm sure you've heard SEO a lot, so yeah, you'd find out what that is all about. And also co-founder of Asset Linkable. So he's going to tell us what he does and how what he does can help your business. So welcome to the show, Donnie.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here. My background has been in Google search, getting websites to rank in Google for different keywords that drive them business, improve their bottom line, and overall help their branding and reputation. With my years of experience, I've learned what to do, what not to do, what the guidelines are, what Google is looking for, what Bing is looking for, but mainly Google, and delivering to the search engine exactly what it needs to figure out who you are, what your business is doing, and reward it for the quality it provides. There are several things that Google is always looking for. Google is looking for a website that loads fast, that is secure, and most importantly, that delivers a quality result to the person searching. People can be searching for hair salon near me. They could be searching for, shampoo. If they do hair salon near me, they're going to see ads. They're going to see local results, like a local map pack with 3 to 4 results in it. And they're going to see organic results under it. If the user, types shampoo, they're going to find products, they're going to find ads, and then they're going to find lists, websites that have lists of the 10 best products, the 15 best products. Based on how a user searches, that is how the results are delivered from the search engine. So we created several different marketing tools and hosting environments to ensure that a website that we work with has the opportunity to gain credibility, deliver the experience the user needs for the search engine like Google and Bing to reward the website. As we continue to evolve in the web world, technologies are always advancing, and in order to adapt, it's important to have a good foundation for your website. We created Rapid SEO Host specifically to help users build that foundation with their website and gain credibility over time. Now, Rapid SEO Host is a hosting solution just like GoDaddy has and Bluehost and several other providers out there. We offer a more custom, more hands-on, turnkey solution. So once you have Rapid SEO Host in your back pocket, you're going to get a lot of advanced features that you would need a developer or an IT person of your own to be able to implement. Furthermore, as technologies advance, so we mainly focus on WordPress websites, which is the most common CMS for regular websites. And then we also focus on Shopify, but Rapid SEO Host does not host Shopify websites. A primary focus for Rapid SEO Host is WordPress. And with WordPress websites, we make sure they load fast. We make sure that the plugins are constantly being updated. If there's a plugin that's outdated or has vulnerability, we will make recommendations for solutions, such as having our developer code out the plugin for the client, so that the website isn't reliant on a plugin, or replacing the plugin with something better that is frequently updated, and doesn't break things on the website. If WordPress decides to move to a new PHP, that you want to keep it updated so that your technology matches all the different devices out there, and also to prevent vulnerabilities, the site from being hacked or things from getting broken and slowing down the website. So we do all these things to ensure that our users have the best chance at ranking with just the bare bones. And the bare bones we provide, you don't get at most SEO agencies that are charging you thousands of dollars a month. You're not even getting the skeleton. And I'd be happy, if anybody wants to reach out, I'd be happy to show them why they aren't getting the value that they should be getting from their SEO agency with some simple searches on Google using Google properties. Here's what Google wants us to do, and here's what you currently have, and here's where you need to be.
All right. So you mentioned, I was about to ask what the difference between rapid SEO host and a normal host is, because with the normal host, you just go online, put in your requirements, and they just pin up a cPanel interface for you. But while you were describing rapid SEO host, you mentioned something about maybe if a plugin has an issue, your developer coding a new scripts to replace that plugin and things like that. So that got me curious. How is rapid SEO host different from the typical web hosts?
So, we care for each of the websites. We want everyone to succeed. Obviously, when our clients succeed, we succeed. They stay with us. They leave us good reviews, and it also gives them a better shot at getting and growing their business. Lots of small businesses like myself, I've had so many issues with having to log into cPanel, and now I have to put on this IT hat. I know SEO, but now I have an IT hat on, and I'm trying to figure out where to put these htaccess files and all these different folders, and websites get embedded into other websites when you don't know what you're doing. It becomes a mess, and instead of having a foundational understanding of, we want the least amount of clutter on the website. We don't want all this extra stuff. When you use a theme or a template, it comes with so much extra stuff that you're not using, and that bogs down the site, that can have issues later on. For one of my clients in the past, I used a theme, and I used one of the pictures in the theme, and I got a cease and desist and a fine, that went to my client. I paid it because I used that theme, but I could have lost the client based on something of that nature. And that's just me trying to use all of my hats, and what I wanted at that time is a solution that I can call and they pick up the phone. I'd spend hours on the phone just waiting to talk to someone at these hosting companies, and by the time I get somebody on the phone, they don't really care. They don't know what they're doing. My websites could be down for a week. They don't care, and I'm managing 30 clients at the time. It doesn't look good on my part. So having a better solution with backups and having all the fundamental things that we want accessible at a very affordable rate was something that I thought is needed in the marketplace. And that's why we built it, because the pain points are all there, and the solutions that we offer are much better for the non-techie marketing guy, for the mom and pop that just have a pizza shop and they want a good loading website that works properly. Once we take over the hosting, all that's really left is content creation and backlinks and some social media marketing, and the business is running. And it's running better than it would at most agencies, because we like to partner with our business owners. We like to help you succeed, and by creating a turnkey solution for you where you don't have to be savvy, we will go over what you need right in the beginning with Rapid SEO Host. There won't be much work for you to do after that's done technically. The only work you're going to have after that is, like I said, content and link building. And with content and link building, it's a little tricky because there's a lot of content being produced, and then there's a lot of people just buying backlinks, which Google doesn't want you to buy backlinks. It's okay to use AI for content creation so long as you have somebody reading it and ensuring that the quality of the content is there. It has to be reviewed by somebody who understands the industry and who's willing to fact check. And once you have that content down, that's, even though you might have AI helping, as long as it's factual and good, that's fine to use. But buying backlinks is something that everybody does in the industry, or at least it seems like everybody does. And it's an exact violation of Google. You're paying for somebody to change a word on their website into a link that points to you for your benefit, or you pay a company that has this huge network of websites that they're constantly linking out from and charging money. And here's the thing: the people who work at Google aren't that dumb. They follow these websites. They're seeing who's selling links. They can afford to buy one link from everyone and then just say these links don't count. So over time, these websites that are selling links are not really doing a service. They're not providing quality, which is why the next thing that I wanted to talk about is a company that I created called linkable.com. And this is one of the SEO strategies that Google does recommend and has always spoken highly of. It's called, the linkable asset link building strategy. And what that means is, instead of trying to buy links from everybody, create something very useful for your website and reach out to websites that have similar content where this content would actually benefit their users for linking to. Creating a calculator, like a mortgage calculator for a real estate company. A mortgage calculator can be very impactful when, let's say, I'm in Florida, so let's say in my surrounding area, I would create a calculator that would be tied to the exact market value of homes in my area and the percentage rate for a mortgage. And that way, when somebody's looking for a mortgage, they can see if the mortgage price that they're getting is fair or not based on the results that my calculator provides. That is useful. That is something that a lot of Florida real estate companies would naturally want to link to, right? That is creating a linkable asset. That is something that Google admires and does not look at a manipulation. So that being said, we created a company called linkable.com. And the objective of the company is to create linkable assets for websites. So you set up Rapid SEO Host, you have good hosting, you have a fast loading website, you have all the little SEO things you want running in the background. It's automated. And then you use Asset Linkable to buy content and backlinks. And now you have everything you need for a good SEO, for a good optimized website with the best SEO chances of ranking in Google, as far as we can see. This is great for people who don't have giant budgets, for businesses that are small, like my size. It's compatible, it's convenient, and we're ready to scale it. So it took a lot of work to get here, but we're very excited with what we've built. And the idea here is to feed Google exactly what they want from a website and content link standpoint. This obviously does not cover Google Maps and paid ads and other things that you would want to advertise on Google with. If you were to run paid ads, social ads, things like that, that's my agency is good at marketing, which is, and I'm partners with WebWorks, which is the development company I work with. We each have our own companies. Jay created WebWorks, I created Good at Marketing, but we both worked at an agency, 12 years ago, called Boasting Biz in Fort Lauderdale. And we had a lot of fun. I mean, we were in Fort Lauderdale and we were ranking for SEO Miami. We were ranking for SEO Fort Lauderdale. we were ranking where our pictures would pop up. My boss and my picture would come up for the different searches, because it was back in the authorship days. So since then, you know, it's been, for Google, it's been a very uphill challenge with links. So that's why we created Asset Linkable. But Good at Marketing is all paid ads, everything else. You know, it's more for the company that has the budget and doesn't want to do any of the work. That's what Good at Marketing helps with. And then WebWorks is, you know, anything that's development related. A new website, I would build a new website with WebWorks hosted on Rapid SEO host, and, you know, the client's happy, like, every time. You know, we don't build low quality websites. Everybody gets to work from home, remote. There's no you know, there's no overhead expenses, and you know, the tracking for everything is set up through us as well. So you really get a lot. You really get a big bang for your buck with Rapid SEO host and everything else that we provide.
All right. So you mentioned WordPress, and I saw on your profile that you leverage on WordPress while building websites. So why did you choose WordPress as your platform of choice?
We've always worked in WordPress, my developer and I. It is the most universal CRM to build content in, or whatever. It's the best that we know of. And there are others that are really good for SEO that I've read about, like Webflow. Even Wix, I heard, is decent. It used to not be as good, but now it's good. I've seen Shopify perform well. It doesn't really matter. You can optimize any platform, any website, if you have a good developer and a good IT guy to make sure that it loads fast and it's secure. But WordPress is the most commonly used. So to fit, and Shopify does self-hosting. So the need for hosting and the solution we offer isn't as high in Shopify as it would be in WordPress. Obviously, plugins and things of that nature, Shopify, you can buy them and add them on from Shopify, and there's also a lot of different ones. We do work with Shopify, like Good at Marketing, WebWorks, Asset Linkable. The other three companies work with WebWorks, but Rapid SEO host is mainly for WordPress, and it's to get the site, you know, up to par, because there's so many people who have WordPress. Everyone has WordPress. If they have Shopify, it's because they have a store. And if they didn't have a store, it's likely WordPress. And there are a few people that don't have it, but you know, those are very technical people in you know, in most cases. So I would say that is, you know, just the most common one.
All right. So what elements in WordPress are most important, or not just WordPress, you know, websites are most important for on-site SEO optimization?
So it's the same with all platforms, right? The WordPress just translates the code and spits it out as HTML. HTML is what all of the browsers are going to be using to read the website. And that's like your Chrome, you know, it takes the HTML, the JavaScript, and it reads the information on the page. So different targets have different requirements. So there's something called schema markup, right? And with schema markup, you could mark up products, you could mark up locations, you could mark up the business, the industry you're in. And this information directly explains to Google what's on the page and how to process it when it crawls it. So it understands, okay, this is a location page. This is where the location is. Here is the geographical, you know, dot on the map of the location. It gives you all the information you want. You mark up everything on the site, and that helps Google understand what the website is about. Your meta title, your meta description, your headings, that information is all super important. Your site architecture is important. So you have your homepage and your service pages, and then supporting pages, and then you have your blog. All these things work together in harmony. And it's really important to understand, when somebody's reading the page, where are they going to get stuck? Where are they going to likely need more information? And that is how you interlink between the pages. And you want to create pages that make sense and interlink in a way where the search engine understands what the page is about, the users understand what the page is about. You're helping the users first in a way that the search engine understands. And that's on page. Additionally, you want to be sure that the page is usable by anybody. Somebody who's visually impaired is able to use the page. They're able to navigate over certain features, and the website will read back to them in a nice way, where they understand what the page is about without being able to see. Right? You want to cater to everyone, and the way that Google measures your success is somebody is searching for something, they click on the result, they didn't find what they wanted, or they weren't able to understand, they went back and clicked on the next result, right? That's how Google understands which result is providing a better experience for users. Now, I know that people have manipulated that too, because people manipulate everything. There's actually websites out there that you could pay the money, and they do these click things where you click and they click, and I don't know. I've been in experiments where I've seen it work. But overall, if you create a valuable piece of content, a valuable page, and connect it to other valuable pages that help the user understand more about the topic, Google's going to pick that up eventually over time, with more and more users going through the same journey and ending up in the same bucket of they stopped searching Google, they stopped clicking around, because the information they were looking for, they have found. And that's what we want. We want to get the user to the end goal. We want to throw the ball into the end zone and touchdown, right? That's the goal. And all the steps along the way are little puzzle pieces that we put together. And when the puzzle is complete, it improves our chances of ranking in Google. We can never guarantee anything, and things change from time to time. And obviously, by staying ahead of what's constantly happening, we're able to adjust and prepare for impact. But we always have to be aware of what's changing and what's updating. And that's something that a small business, an SEO guy can do for SEO, but not for SEO, dev work, tech, paid marketing, can't do it for everything. So having these services that we offer now let different people with different hats handle the different applications that all have the same outcome that we're looking for, which is Google rankings, Bing rankings, converted traffic, improved paid performance, and analytics and tracking for everything from 0 to 100.
Nice. So what's common WordPress specific technical SEO mistakes have you observed people make? And how can site owners spot these mistakes?
So I'm going to start with the biggest, dumbest, easiest, most simple mistake that I've seen over and over and over. And that's launching a site and leaving no index on the homepage. So you're telling Google not to crawl the website. It's either a checkbox in the WordPress settings, or it would just be in the robots.txt file. There's a code there that says, hey, Google, don't crawl this. And that happens a lot when you're building a new website and they're both live, and you don't want Google to treat it as a duplicate website. So the web developer started off by creating a second website. And when they created that second website, they did it, they created the no index tag so that they're preventing an SEO error from happening, because now they're competing with each other, and you don't want to do that. So index one, so they don't compete with each other for the same results, and they don't look like duplicate content, which Google doesn't like. By doing so, you're doing a good thing for SEO. But then once you launch the website and you leave that no index on the website, you're launching a website that isn't able to, that Google can't crawl it. So your website, all your rankings fall out of the sky. And I've seen this happen so many times, where people will type in their brand name and their website doesn't come up. Right. And it's something that you don't learn right away. You can be new to SEO, you could be new to web development, you could be a really nice person, but niceness and kindness doesn't really help. A noob is a noob, and they're only going to know so much. In this industry, you're always a noob. I'm always a noob. You have to keep learning. You have to keep seeing what's out there and what people are doing. AI is huge these days, and there's a lot of tools that you could use, but They can also misguide you and you're just trusting it blindly. So it's important to understand exactly why you're doing things and what the outcome is. So that's the biggest thing with WordPress. Other than that, I mean, broken pages, menus that are screwed up, a lot of over optimizing, putting your keyword in too many times, just trusting a tool that tells you to do things without understanding the logic behind it. Overdoing it with plugins, where a website has like a ton of plugins on it. You're using a plugin for every little thing. This ends up hurting you in the long run. Some of those plugins are going to need updates that aren't going to match the latest PHP. And that will create problems for you and for the website. So we tend to try to use the minimal amount of plugins. Obviously, sometimes there's a plugin you have to have it to integrate to some kind of third-party application. Usually, plugins of those natures are updated frequently. So you could have a lot of plugins if they're all good plugins. There's no limitations. But that's another big issue that we see is the overly the over usage of plugins. It's overkill in many ways, over optimization of certain things. Those things will end up haunting a website in the long run.
All right, so you mentioned AI. So how can you use AI to improve your website SEO? What are some ways you can do that?
So the thing about like ChatGPT is you can ask ChatGPT what you can do to improve your website, and it will tell you what you can do to improve your website. It'll give you a lot of ideas and options. So ChatGPT can be used in many, many ways. And there's also a lot of prompts out there that you can find. And these prompts will help you quickly find useful things to help improve your website's performance. Keyword research, you can find out the right keywords for your articles. You can see what other websites are doing. You can even ask ChatGPT what it thinks about your article. Hey, what do you think about my article compared to these other articles? And those articles are articles ranking in Google, and it will tell you why those articles are better, why they're performing better. And it's usually pretty good about the information it provides you. Now, again, it's always important to know some foundational things and to understand the content. If you have clients and you're using AI to spit out content and you don't understand the topic and you're just hitting copy and paste, you can hurt somebody pretty badly. You're giving them the wrong advice, and that costs time, that costs money, and it could be tied to health factors. You could be giving somebody bad medical information. You could be giving somebody bad legal advice with child custody. I mean, there's a million things that content can do. So the more sensitive the topic, the less likely and the more cautious I would recommend someone be while using AI.
Interesting. So what are your thoughts on remote work? I know you mentioned remote work earlier, and these days you see a lot of companies, bigger companies, claiming remote work from home is less productive, claiming work from home should be stopped and things like that. So what are your own thoughts on remote working?
I don't know. Maybe they like burning fuel. I have more time at home. I have kids and I get to actually see them all day long throughout the day. When I take my break, I don't have to talk to coworkers. I could talk to my kids, right? There's a big benefit to working remote. I could write you a huge article on it. I started working remote before the pandemic. So people having to go back to work, there were a lot of people that did great at home, but there's some people that just don't want to work. So they need to be in an office environment to not want to work. I think if you're passionate about what you do and you love what you do, you'll do it from your bed. You'll do it from the toilet. You'll do it everywhere you possibly have an opportunity to do it. I don't mind working. I love it. So I do it all the time. I really don't mind it. When I had a job as a waiter, I hated having to drive to the office and be a waiter. So I think it's all relative to how much you like your job. And if you love your job and you get the privilege of working from home, the benefits are astronomical. The time you spend buying food, the time to go to work, the time and money you spend taking a lunch break when you're at lunch, the gas money you spend driving to work, the time you spend in traffic, the time you spend to buy clothes for work, the time you spend to do your laundry to go to work, all the time you spend talking to the employee next to you that's not actually about work, the time you spend doodling on Facebook, all these things that people do at work they lose so much time in the week that the actual amount of work being produced on hourly time is minimal at max. I think that these companies just need to get better at having more virtual meetings instead of having to make somebody spend, an extra 30% of their lives, of their entire life inside of an office around people that could be nice, could be cool, and you might enjoy it, but people that are spending time away from their family, losing time that they could be exercising, doing things that are better for their mental wellness and health. There's so much more positivity out of remote working, in my opinion. And again, it's my opinion, than there is in an office. And I think that, of course, bringing a bunch of brains together can be beneficial. But with technology these days, you can do it over a Zoom call. You could do it over a Google Hangout. You could do it on FaceTime. And we have Slack. You have all these channels to communicate. WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. I mean, we're a touch away from the person we need to talk to. What's the point of burning all the fuel and being stuck in traffic all week long?
Yeah, I agree with you on that, because I too started working remotely back in 2011, long before remote work had a name. And then I started a business then. Then a couple of years later, it felt weird. I wanted to be like everyone else. I started another business and rented an office, and it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare because I spent
so much overhead, right? So all these things, like, well, that's why then the company needs to charge more money, because they have all these employees,
exactly.
right? So now they're charging way more money. It all comes back to that. Like, they need to charge you so much more money that now you made a huge investment to get the bare bones of what we're offering for a lot less money, right? And you're not even going to get that quality, no chance. Like, not from what I've seen. It's very rare to get this type of quality anywhere for this price.
Exactly. And when you look at even the commute, spending like an hour going to work and coming back, and after the commute, you get to work, you have to spend maybe 20, 30 minutes to get your thoughts and everything. It's something else. It's really something else. So
Yep.
let's talk about your tech stack. What are your favorite tech tools you use in managing your businesses, your asset linkable, good at marketing, and rapid SEO hosts?
So we use a lot of different tools in the back end to do what we do. Like, we use a Plusk, would be like your, instead of cPanel, and Plusk performs really nicely. And that would be for, clients that have a lot of web agencies. If we get another web development agency or an SEO agency, and they want a special custom deal, we would put them in Plusk so they can go in the back end and do changes. They could have their own developers go in and do stuff when they need to. So we have, it's fully customizable to cater to everyone's needs. And then we have different tools for different things. Like, we use Yoast for some SEO projects, or we'll use Rank Math for other ones. It really depends on the client. And there's like a million tech tools we use for different business types, right? Because every business has a different goal. Like a dentist has one goal versus, like I said, a shampoo company has a completely different goal. They see different results when they're searching online. Like the way people find them, they find them in a different way. They're searching a different pattern. And there's different tools and methods that we use for each of the different industry types.
Interesting. So if you could give one piece of advice to a new website owner on SEO success, what would that advice be?
Make sure that your website has an index tag on it. Make sure that it's crawlable by Google. And then make sure that the content you have on your website is the best possible content you could create, and
Mm.
better content than everything you can find in your area. That's the way to win. And and I know there's a lot of content out there, and people are just producing it like wildfire with AI. But that also gives us an opportunity, because people are creating just nonsense. They're just spitting out content, which for us is an opportunity to excel and shine and say, let's create better content, because we know that, you know, we know what's out there, and we know what our business entails, and we understand what our client wants and what our clients want, and exactly how to create the content that will resonate best with them. You know, what are the objections of the person who comes to the site? Why did they come visit it? We ask ourselves all these questions to produce the most amazing content we can.
All right. So for listeners on the show, if they would like to learn more about what you do, if they would like to probably learn more about, yeah, you're good at marketing, learn more about Rapid SEO hosts or Asset Linkable, how do they reach you?
We have different websites for each of the properties. I could leave them for you. WebWorks is one, WHEBB.WORKS. That's for development. Good at Marketing, you could get there by typing ga.marketing, and it'll take you to Good at Marketing. Rapid SEO Host is RAPIDSEOHOST.com. That will get you to rapidseohost.com. And then Asset Linkable is ASSETLINKABLE.com, and that will take you to assetlinkable.com.
All right. So those websites will be linked in the show notes once this episode goes live.
Okay, awesome.
All right. So thank you so much for coming on the show and for sharing with us today.
Thank you, Peter. I appreciate you.
All right. And for the listeners, thank you for being with us this long. And I hope you've learned a couple of things on backlinks. You've learned something on SEO, and like he said, he talked about AI and a lot of other things. Just pick one, pick two, implement in your business. Like I say, take your business. And if you get any results, let us know. Thank you so much, listeners, for being with us to this point. And till next week, when we come with another episode, keep taking your business. And bye for now.
Cheers.
All right.